What's up, guys? Happy Monday. Happy Motivational Mishy Monday. I hope you guys have had a great beginning of your week. I know Mondays can be really hard, and so I'm here to encourage you in any way that I can. But today, we're specifically talking about how to push through when you're alone in your journey. This topic was brought to us by Brandy Casseus, the founder of Black Girl Chatt. So if you are a Black woman, and even if you're not a Black woman, you still want to support, definitely follow her at Black Girl Chatt, and also follow Brandy Casseus at Brandy Casseus. Her little ads will be in the description of this video. So let's get started, because when we're defining journey here, we're talking about an idea, the journey of an idea that you have. Maybe it's a business proposition, an album you want to record, a blog you want to write, motivational videos you want to do, anything like that. When we birth a new idea, at the beginning of that journey, we really desire support. So we always put out feelers, like to our friends, to our family, to our coworkers, like, hey, like, I'm really thinking about doing this. Like, what do you think? And we really desire for people to be like, yo, that's awesome. Like, that's totally up your alley. I support you. Like, go for it. And so it's really difficult, and it sucks when we have more people telling us, that's not a good idea. Like, I don't know how you're gonna have the time to do that. I don't know how you have the resources to do that. That's too expensive, et cetera, et cetera. There are like millions of reasons why people could not support you. And it just sucks. And honestly, it could be the death of an idea, like right then and there, if you don't have enough support for it. But, especially if you're not motivated enough to be like, well, I'm just going to push past these people's opinions and just do it. A lot of people, when they don't get that initial support, they're like, well, dang, maybe I just shouldn't do it. But how can we push through? And that's what Brandy wants me to answer today. So I think that it's important that obviously you should not give up. I mean, you never know until you try. And you definitely don't, like, there's a difference between, I guess, getting wise counsel and like really like, you know, realizing if you're not financially ready for something, don't put yourself in debt deeply for this idea. Like, maybe there's a different way for you to do it. Like, you know, brainstorm, but it doesn't mean that you have to let the idea go. I think that if you're extremely passionate about it, and if it's something that the Lord has truly placed on your heart to do, then, you know, you should go for it, especially if you've been praying on it. If God is like, you need to do this, then even if maybe in those instances, it's like, okay, if I don't even have the money for it, then you will find a way to do it. And so I've always, when I've grown up, I've always like had this fear of failure. So I wouldn't try things. I wouldn't do things if I had, you know, if there was a 50-50 chance of me, you know, failing or succeeding. And my stepdad was always like, you can't, you know, sentence yourself to failure if you don't try. And so I encourage you guys to try it, despite the fact of all these people giving their opinions of like, this is a bad idea, whatever, like, it doesn't hurt to try. And again, like, don't put yourself in huge financial debt for it. Don't put people in danger, all those things. Just, you could do a soft, you know, a soft run of it, or, you know, a soft opening or whatever it is, just to test things out. That gives me actually an example of like, my friends are opening up this bar at their bike shop, and they did a soft opening like recently, just with their friends, to see what it would be like, to see how it would go, what they need to do. So you could do something like that. So yeah, you never know until you try. So don't just give up just because you hear people saying no. There are plenty of people in history, successful people too, who, you know, were told like, nah, you're not good at this, you should just give up, or no, whatever. And then they still, you know, pursued their dream and they became successful. So you gotta at least try. Number 2, support doesn't equal success. And I think that's the whole reason why people aren't motivated to move forward with their idea, and to move forward in their journey with their idea when they don't get support, because they're like, okay, if nobody supports me, then how is this even going to be possible? How are people going to help me? How am I going to get the resources I need to push this idea? But I think it's important. I think that even sometimes support from other people can put pressure on you. Maybe they put a lot of input in and like, oh, well, this is a good idea, but maybe if you did this to it, or, you know, it just puts pressure on you to be like, this has to be perfect. And so you maybe overdo things, and, you know, you're not able to really put in your genuine heart into the idea and the root of the idea because you have that support. And I'm not saying that, you know, it doesn't feel good to have some support, but sometimes over supportive people can also, you know, be the death of an idea, especially if they want to put too much of their input into what you truly want to see. And so I just want you guys, you know, to remember that it is possible for an idea to succeed without support. And honestly, like, I feel like there's got to be someone out there who also thinks it's a good idea. I feel like there are too many times where like we come up with like, oh, like I really want to invent this or whatever, and it's like, oh well, I don't have the time. And then months later, someone else has invented it. Like you see it on TV on one of those, you know, like order it, only $19.99. You have to be 18 years or older, like things like that. So there's got to be someone out there who probably thinks the same thing or is supportive of the same idea. So, but just know that support doesn't equal success. A key thing is you want to remember why you have this idea. It's kind of like how I talked last week about the why behind your goodbye. It's so important to understand the purpose behind your idea. Are you wanting to help yourself? Are you wanting to help others? Are you wanting to support your community? Are you wanting to inspire and encourage and motivate other girls or boys or Black people or whatever it is? And so you want to remember the driving force behind your idea in order to gain more motivation despite the lack of support that you do have. Because honestly, like if you're passionate enough to, you know, allow the why behind your idea to move forward, because you're like, no, like even though people don't support it, this is what my neighborhood needs, this is what my school needs, this is what my workplace needs, then that's a key thing to help you stay motivated as you go through your journey with your idea. Another thing too to remember, I was talking with my boyfriend about this topic last night, and he made the good point that success is like relative, because success to one person could be all the money, the cars, the house. Success to another person could be just having a family and being able to support them. Success could be, you know, simply just making someone's day, you know, smiling at them. That could be success, whatever. And so success is totally relative when it comes to everyone's different ideas and certain things. And so maybe your idea success for your idea doesn't happen. Maybe you're like, okay, for instance, maybe I'm like, okay, with these motivational videos, I want to be able to get on Instagram TV. I want people to be able to see it. Then I want to blow up and get on YouTube. Then I want to go and make money. Then I want to be able to go and travel all these places and talk and like do these things. And maybe, honestly, maybe I don't reach that level of success. Maybe I stay on Instagram TV or I stay on YouTube, but I'm able to encourage and influence so many people through the web. And, you know, maybe the success is basically people just, you know, emailing me and letting me know like, oh my goodness, your talk on this was so good. Like it really helped me do this. And honestly, like to me, that is success. That's a huge thing for someone as, you know, simple as me, a little girl in her bedroom, you know, or not a little girl, woman in her bedroom, just, you know, talking to her phone camera and being like, yo, you can do this. And then someone being like, yeah, I can. That's a huge, you know, definition of success for me. And so I encourage you to see in your idea, it may not be the big success that you see, but maybe it's a little success. Maybe it's a lesson. Maybe throughout your journey, you stumble a little bit and you have to learn some things in order for you to continue in your journey like the right way. And so, yeah, just remember that success is relative in that you can always change that definition of what success looks like for your idea, and that don't get down if you make mistakes. Don't get down if you fail. Don't give up. Just, you know, learn from them. Learn from those mistakes and be like, okay, well, I'm going to take this in and this is how I'm going to move forward. I know that it's easy to get frustrated when nobody wants to support you and nobody wants to share your stuff, watch your videos, share your blog, read your blog, whatever, listen to your music. It can be really difficult when you don't have that tangible support, when you don't see it. But I just encourage you guys to just remember those tips and to move forward. And honestly, like if the Lord has placed it on your heart and He's made it evident and clear to you that that is what you're supposed to be doing with your life, then there is no one else who can tell you otherwise. And so, yeah, I love you guys. I hope that was good stuff for you. I know it was good stuff for me just to think about. If you like this video, thumbs up or heart it for me. If you don't mind, maybe share it with someone who needs to hear this. If you guys were encouraged, just let me know as well. I'd love to know. And if you have more topics for me, I would love to hear what you want me to talk about. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. You can do it, and I love you.